Diego Lopes will be challenging for the featherweight title in a rematch against Alexander Volkanovski at UFC 325. Lerone Murphy wasn't too happy with this news. On X he wrote, "Missing the opportunity to fight one of the featherweight GOATs is what hurts me the most. It's not about who's the best anymore. It's about who's the most popular." He followed up saying, "It is what it is. Business is never personal. We dust off and move forward." Movsar Evloev responded saying, "Leon Murphy, I will give you the opportunity to fight the #1 contender. Tell your people you're ready to fight me on the same card as the championship." Aljamain Sterling also wasn't thrilled over Lopes getting another crack at the belt. Here's what he had to say on his YouTube channel.
Diego Lopes is getting the next shot again. He is being allowed to get a rematch with Volkanovski, a guy who just beat him. I'm not mad at it for Diego Lopes. If it was a close fight, I can get it. But you just lost. You did beat a guy who I don't even think was ranked top 10. And it's no knock on Gene, because everyone knows who Gene Silva is. The guy is a dog. It's a big win. So I get that, but he just fought the champ, lost to the champ in what was pretty one-sided. He gets a big win over a very, very popular dude. So I'm just trying to make it make sense in my head. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to get us a champion that could represent Mexico and pretty much Brazil too. In a situation like this, again, I don't knock Diego Lopes. Once again, he's leapfrogging the guy that beat him, who should have been the one to get the title shot a year and a half ago, maybe even 2 years ago at this point. Now you have Lerone Murphy, takes a risky fight against a Bellator guy in Aaron Pico, and knocks him out. Spinning elbow. Doesn't get the shot either. It's just, what is the criteria? That is all I want to know. Because we come in, we are told the best guys will fight the best guys. You eat what you kill. Well, how can you kill something if you're not given the opportunity? How can you kill something if every time the opportunity is there, it's given to someone else?
Alexander Volkanovski himself says that he thinks Movsar Evloev and Lerone Murphy were more deserving of the shot.
There was a bit in it, a bit of work involved. Obviously, we all know that I wanted to fight earlier. I wanted, I thought it was going to be December. We thought, Lerone Murphy, December. I guess UFC, and they were waiting for Jean Silva and Lopes. Then they were saying Lopes, and we're like, obviously we're like, we just fought that guy. Is there more deserving people, whatnot? Whatever, everybody knows that I'll fight anyone, right? So whoever they put in front of me, I'll do. But then it was looking like it wasn't going to happen. But then it did happen, which was great. Again, I thought, it was a Movsar deserving, Lerone Murphy. I thought they were the two guys. They're the guys I called out. UFC really want Lopes. At least everyone knows they're in for a trick. With your Movsars and Lerones, they're probably, they're more deserving. But are they going to bring a fight like Lopes would? I think the fans are going to appreciate the fight that me and Lopes are going to have.
Diego Lopes has responded to all of the criticism. He posted this photo on X. He wrote, "My face when I saw everyone crying, sitting around. He won't give you a title fight. Get to work and stop whining on social media." Khamzat Chimaev has responded to Nassourdine Imavov calling him out. On X, Imavov said, "Had a good conversation with the UFC. I told them title shot only. If we have to wait, we'll wait. No distractions, no detours. Great things require preparation. Make no mistake, I'll be ready." He continued, "I'm not used to waiting, but this time I have to." Khamzat responded saying, "See you after Ramadan. You have time to work on your wrestling." Ilia Topuria and Max Holloway had a friendly exchange on X, following the news that Ilia will be stepping away from competition for a period of time due to personal matters. For months now, there have been circulating rumors suggesting that Ilia and his wife are going through a divorce. On X, he wrote, "I won't be fighting in the first quarter of next year. I'm going through a difficult moment in my personal life. I want to focus on my children and resolve this situation as soon as possible. I don't want to hold up the division. The UFC will make the matchups needed, and as soon as the matters are resolved, I'll let the UFC know I'm ready to begin my return." Now, Max Holloway has some first-hand experience navigating difficult family situations, having endured a 5-year custody battle involving his son Rush. Max responded to Ilia saying, "Sorry to hear, champ. If it's what I'm hearing it is, I know the struggle firsthand trying to fight while protecting your kids. Hope all goes well." Ilia responded saying, "Thanks for the support, brother. All the best for you and your family." Kron Gracie gave his take on the UFC not re-signing him after his loss to Bryce Mitchell. Gracie received a huge amount of backlash for his performance, as he had just 6 significant strikes, 0 successful takedowns landed, and 2 seconds of control time before being knocked out. He says from now on he's done pulling guard. In an interview with MMAfighting.com, Gracie said at the time, I was fighting a top 15 guy, and I think like anything that was going to happen, I would think I was going to get another fight in the UFC. Just generally, if you're fighting a top guy, if you win or lose, you should be able to stay in the game. But I think the way that I fought, the way I pulled guard, and the way that it happened, a lot of fans were disappointed and I lost a lot of stock in that transition. So I think that's kind of like, as a fan and as a business, the UFC is a business. It makes sense for them to be like, well, you lost a lot of fans. Like, go get your fans back. Go get some wins and see what happens. But I can understand. It's a business. If pulling guard is going to be that much of a detriment to the ability to keep fighting and the ability to make money, then f it. I won't pull guard ever again, and I already made that decision that I'm done with pulling guard. I always do really well from pulling guard, and it was something that I had in my back pocket, but I feel like now, not only for myself, I have to try to get on top. I have to try to be effective in different positions, and I kind of didn't really have that mindset because I was so successful from the bottom, generally. Alexander Volkanovski spars Mauricio Ruffy. Michael Chandler explains why the potential fight against Conor McGregor at the White House is a must-win for him. Chandler thinks the UFC may even create a special belt just for the White House card. Speaking to MMAfighting.com, Chandler said we would definitely have to go out there, dot our I's and cross our T's, and go out there and not just beat Conor, but dominate him and systematically and surgically break the man down. To be able to get draped in the stars and bars and get my hand raised right there on the White House lawn, I've dreamt about it. I've visualized it ever since the announcement was made that we were doing this fight on the White House lawn, and I believe it's going to come to fruition. It's America's birthday, 250 years, and I would be the guy carrying the stars and bars, red, white, and blue to the octagon in what we would assume would be the main event. Obviously that comes with a little bit of extra pressure, a lot of extra layers. I do feel like I love this country. I love the people of this country. I love so many things about being an American. I truly believe we are the greatest country ever assembled. We have our black eyes. We have our blemishes. We have our moments. We have our pain. Obviously, over the last week, we've been experiencing a lot of that. But I think this is a beautiful celebration of what this country is and who we are as Americans. I would love the opportunity to be it. There is almost nothing that is impossible. First of all, this sounded impossible just 6 months ago, doing a fight at the White House. Now you get it set, and the amount of things that are on the table, nothing is off the table. That would actually be really, really cool. Donald Trump coming in and raising my hand, raising my arm to get a win for America on its birthday. That would be cool. No belt on the line, but maybe they'll come out with a White House belt. Something cool for this momentous occasion that we can throw on our shelves in our offices. That would absolutely be a blast. But even if that did not happen, the opportunity to fight in front of our president again, to fight at the White House, would be an absolute dream come true. George St-Pierre appears to be leaning towards Jon Jones beating Tom Aspinall if they ever fight. GSP said it's a hard fight to call. In terms of accomplishments, Jon Jones has accomplished more than anyone. He's the best. However, if you talk about today, who's the best today? Because Tom Aspinall, he's younger. He's on momentum. But now his momentum just got broke a little bit. It was an eye gouge. But until that happened, it was a very close fight. I think we will see soon what will happen. They're probably going to rematch because it was a very good fight. They were coming forward, hitting each other. It was a very good fight. But if Jones and Aspinall fight, I don't know. Jones is an anomaly. You cannot bet against Jon Jones. Even though on paper, you might say he's older, he's not in his prime anymore. But man, he's Jon Jones. You know what I mean? Paddy Pimblett discusses his upcoming interim lightweight title fight against Justin Gaethje.
First ever time when we fought in January, the earliest I've ever fought. It's going to ruin me Christmas dinner and my birthday because I'm 31 like 3 weeks before it. But it's all going to be worth it when I lift that real title above my head. And Paddy the Baddie is a world champion. And 2026 is going to be the biggest year of my life. I am coming for that interim title. Then I'll be making it the undisputed title when I come and beat Ilia Topuria up and take the undisputed title. And then little posh boy, if he manages to fight in that time, because he likes sitting out and saying he's got a sore back, if little posh boy fights in that time and keeps his ranking, I'll punch his head in as well.
Arman Tsarukyan wasn't too thrilled about Paddy fighting for the interim title. After the announcement, He said, "Make it make sense," with a facepalm emoji. Alex Pereira knocked out his sparring partner with his signature left hand today.
Look, as soon as the right hand comes. Bah! Yeah! Bah! 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 Again! Bah! Come on! Why y'all surprised?
It looks like the UFC may have accidentally leaked some fight news today. The official UFC Brazil page posted this on X. However, it was deleted moments later. It says Max Holloway will face Charles Oliveira for the BMF title at UFC 324 in January. As many of you know, Max fought Charles back in 2015 and won via TKO in the first round. Afterwards, Oliveira claimed that he suffered an injury during the fight. However, Max said that it was never confirmed.
And we've been talking about this fight. Me and him have a history. He's blaming it on some type of injury. I guess we get to figure it out now. Huh?
Who do you guys see winning the rematch if it happens? Post your thoughts in the comments.
And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos.
Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's from Rabbit Hole 5959. It says, "Jones hanging out with murderers during Thanksgiving is very John Jones of him." The second one's in reference to Renato Moicano's response to Dan Hooker. It says, "Moicano is hilarious for agreeing they both suck." And the final one says, "DC, please don't impose John Jones onto his own family. It's probably smiles and celebrations in that house right now. Don't make John come back before Christmas. I'm sure John's kids want to see their mommy without black eyes and not be locked in their rooms Christmas Day."
Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.